Sevilla are wondering. Well, they weren't at their best, Real Madrid. As I said, the late goal from Ramos to get them into extra time, and then Carvajal with an absolutely stunning goal to decide it. So that's the story from Norway after the first ever big club European final held in these parts. Real Madrid beating Sevilla 3-2 on an entertaining night in Trondheim.
And let's hope that's a good example of what's to come from European competition this season. Delight on the face of Luka Modric. They left it late in normal time. They left it late in extra time. Real Madrid delighted with that victory. And I tell you what, you saw there Danny Carvajal. This won't make up for his Champions League heartbreak, but what a fantastic finish from him. He more than played his part tonight. We'll be back with the boys in just a couple of moments to see the trophy lift. Hey, I tell you what, not a bad way to win it.
Yeah, it was a lovely finish, but it was absolutely appalling defending, I must admit, but you have to concentrate on what he did with the ball. Yes, they lose the ball in this position. This is Conor Pianka with it. Danny Carvajal robs it, but as he drives through, it's all right one, but you see Adel Rami, the centre defender, why doesn't he go and challenge him there, and then he lets him waltz right past him.
But the finish, though, was so impressive when he gets there.
The finish and everything was lovely, the outside the right foot, but look how many red shirts are there. If you're being critical, you shouldn't get anywhere near the goal, but the right back loves to drive forward, loves to attack, outside the right foot finish, and really nice, and it was you know, nice the fact that he scored a really good goal that won the game.
You know what, Sevilla are really going to rue that red card for Kolodzacek, because you sort of sense that if he was there, Michael, another body in the mix could have made a difference there.
Yeah, definitely 10 men against a team like Madrid, especially when there's tiring bodies, is going to be a huge difference. As you see the first one, it's a certainty. It's you know, you can't pull shirts like that, and this is as well, to be fair. I don't think he's got any complaints. You know, he's been danced around there, and he's put in a late challenge. You can see quite clearly catches him on the top of the foot.
The whole of extra time, a man down.
Yeah.
So, Zinedine Zidane, he's got the lucky touch. 5 months in management, 2 trophies already. He's making it look easy, Macca.
Well, there's a saying, isn't it? Better be lucky than good, and that's exactly what Zizou is. You know, he nearly won the league with a late run, wins the Champions League in fortuitous circumstances, and then to get an equaliser so late on today, and then get the winner so late on. It shows he has got that magic touch, as Ian Dark and Owen argues rightly said in commentary.
And fair play to all of the fans who travelled over from Seville. You can see the frustration there, can't you, on the faces of the Sevilla players. But you sense that despite lots of change over the summer, lots of players leaving again, new manager coming in, they've shown enough tonight, I think, to show that, you know, they're going to be there or thereabouts again this season.
Yeah, they've performed particularly well, as you say. Without the red card, then it would have been totally in the balance, and they had the majority of the first half, certainly possession-wise. OK, Real Madrid rested a few players, but I'm sure this is not Sevilla's first team either. They've got a few players to come in, and they'll all gel a little bit better as well. So I think it's fair to say that they're going to have another good season. Yeah,
and this is a Real side who are further behind Sevilla in terms of their pre-season preparation. I don't know how you feel as a manager. I mean, do you want 120 minutes at this stage of the season, 10 or so days before the season?
Probably not for a lot of them. For a number of them, it'll be fine, because they've been in training for, arguably now 3 weeks. But the likes of Luka Modric, who had big part appearances at the end, they don't necessarily need taxing games, especially with a week to go of the season starting. But it should 10 days to go in for these lads, so it should be fine. And they're waiting for the big boys to come back. But it's always nice to win a trophy, isn't it?
That fella Jake as well, Sergio Ramos. How many times does he pop up with important goals? 59 goals as a defender he scored. 59. Madrid.
Some would take that as a striker.
Some strikers would be proud of that record. It's an amazing record.
And what do you think generally of Real tonight? Because there's talk about whether Zinedine Zidane needs to dip into the transfer market. He said he's happy with the squad that he's got. As you said, big players still to come back.
I think they could always do with an improvement, but there's only so many people, so many people on the planet who can improve this team, and normally they're not available. Whether you can get Lewandowski to improve the forward line, then it's between him and Benzema. It's very, very difficult to improve a team that's just won the Champions League, Jake.
It is amazing.
Keep them happy, more importantly.
It is amazing, the likes of Barcelona and Real Madrid, how thin their squads are. I mean, you look at Premier League teams, it's 25 players per squad, and they're leaving players out. I mean, the players that were left out of the Community Shield on Saturday for Manchester United could have been all international players, yet Real Madrid, Barcelona, of the like, they've probably got 14, 15 players, but after that they go really thin on the ground. But some of those players got the chance tonight, and obviously be delighted to lift the trophy.
And you know the way it works at Real Madrid. We've been speaking so much about Manchester United, so much about Manchester City. Barcelona have spent money, Bayern Munich have improved their side. They won't like the fact that people are talking about other football clubs. Won't they want to make a statement in this window?
It's hard to make a statement, as I just said before, Jake. Who can they buy to make a statement? The only one they could buy is, as I said before, a goal scorer, attacking midfielder who can really bring something. They've got an abundance of attacking midfielders, and if anything, they're trying to get rid of some. They can't accommodate Isco, James Rodriguez, the amount of midfielders they've got. They need somebody to leave, and then they may bring somebody in, but I mean, you can count on one hand who's going to make a splash for Real Madrid.
Rodriguez looked a little bit sharp.
Looks sharper today. Looks as if he's
Morata went off.
Condition
He didn't really do much to show he's going to play a big part this season.
Yeah, James Rodriguez looks better. His conditioning looks much better. Whether that's because he played in the Copa America in the summer. Morata didn't show that much. I mean, not a lot of people did show. I thought Kovacic did well, for instance. Asensio did well in the first half. If anything, it was a night for the bit part players to show that they're good enough to stay in the squad.
What do you think of them, Michael, going forward?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I didn't fancy them to win the Champions League last season. I thought Barcelona were the best team in Europe. They obviously got knocked out. And then, the likes of Atletico Madrid. I always fancy that they can get beat. That's the thing, Real Madrid. If any of our big teams were against, obviously Manchester City played them, I didn't think it was impossible that they'd beat them, but they've gone on and won yet another Champions League. So again, this season, I look around and see probably one or two, maybe three teams that are either better or they're equal, but you can't ever rule them out.
Yeah, I've got an affinity for them, as you know, but last year, I went to watch them on numerous occasions against Rome and against Wolfsburg, and you sort of thought, exactly what Michael said, these are vulnerable away from home. They concede lots of chances, and I thought they were not the best team in Europe last year. On paper, looking at the performances, yet they went and won the trophy. Sometimes that's all that matters. You need a little bit of luck at the right time in the right game. But the other teams, as you rightly said, Barcelona in particular in Spain, have strengthened a lot. Bayern Munich bought early, but Renato Sanchez bought Mats Hummels to strengthen their squad. So as a squad, they've certainly got better and stronger teams than Real Madrid. It's just whether they can do it again on the day.
Okay, we shall see. As you can see, the officials have taken their medals. In a couple of moments, Sevilla are going to make their way up the steps to get their runners-up medals, and then, of course, Real Madrid will make their way up, and here comes Sevilla. So there you go. A new boss, Sampaoli's in charge now, but the same old story. 3 consecutive Super Cups on the spin, and they've lost all 3. They'll be sick of this particular match in dark, won't they?
Yeah, I'm afraid they will be. Last year, beaten in the 115th minute. In extra time, 5-4 by Barcelona, and here it was snatched away from them in the last moments of normal time, and then just as we were expecting a penalty shootout, Dani Carvajal denies Sevilla. Good European team though, aren't they?
Great European team. As much as they lose, they've been unfortunate to lose this game. They've been fortunate enough to win that Europa League final, so they're very blessed on the one side, but this is a difficult game against great opposition. They put on a decent enough performance, but I think they caused some of their own problems, trying to play out the back. What led to that red card, which ended up changing the game. Trying to play out the back, getting caught in possession, leading to that second yellow card, and I'm just not a massive fan of teams trying to play out in those areas. I think there's too much risk. Get the ball to the fullbacks high up the pitch, it's a lot safer, and I thought both teams got picked off countless times today.
Yeah, that dribbling out and passing out from the back, it suits some players a bit more than others. Making that adaptation is a little problem for Sevilla, but what a ride they've taken their fans on in recent seasons. Doesn't care too much, I don't think, Pareja, for a loser's medal.
second place doesn't count.
Yeah. Looked like he wanted to throw that in the river, didn't he? Zinedine Zidane has delivered yet another trophy for Real Madrid. It looked pretty unlikely more than once tonight. Certainly enjoying this visit to Norway far more than their first one in 1997. Rosenborg's famous 2-0 Champions League win over them. Still talk about it in this part of the world. Well, he's a classy, dignified leader of Real Madrid so far. Big job. And a nice moment for players who won't have played in winning finals, like the goalkeeper there, Kiko Casilla. He made 7 starts last year. Isco going through the picture. And eventually, that trophy will be handed over to Sergio Ramos. He began his career at Sevilla 12 years ago, his hometown club. Luka Modric, I think you could say his move from Tottenham has worked out rather well for him. A couple of Champions League wins along the way.
Modric, Asensio, what a night for him, scoring a stunning goal and winning the Super Cup. Carvajal, he was the difference in the end. He got possession. Konoplyanka scoring a breathtaking goal.
Signs of how bittersweet sport can be, isn't it? Carvajal, who had to miss the European Championships agonizingly for him with injury, but then comes a moment like tonight for him. The 11 times European champions are going to be crowned Super Cup champions, beating Seville in the final again, as they did in 2014. This time in rather more dramatic circumstances. So I hope you've enjoyed the game at home. In a moment, someone is going to hand that trophy over.
And I get to hand Ronaldo. Bale.
Oh, there it is. Almost forgot it. Oh, yeah, there's the trophy. More will follow this season for Real Madrid. That's the question hanging in the air. They've done it tonight in Norway in a game which provided 5 goals. Not quite the 9 of last year, but it's a pretty good watch as well. Only whets our appetite for the season ahead and the million stories that will break in the football world. So that's it. UEFA Super Cup winners for 2016 are Real Madrid after extra time by 3 goals.